Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima. Book 4. Earth. Chapter 5. Rocking Around the Yggdrasil. We didn't see you there, Snotter. What did you wish for? Snotter looked up from her cocoa directly at Jack Thunder. I wished to be as strong as Adamant Ironjaw himself. She flexed her right arm. He, Buckthorn, and Shadow-Paws smiled. Even Razor flared his wings out to show his support. Shadow-Paws spoke up. At least you're already strong. Me? I can't even face a little mouse without running for cover. That's why I wish to be braver. You think that's bad? Buckthorn chimed in. At least you two do better in this cold than I do. I wished for a coat. That's all I really want. To get through this winter without coming down with something. And Jack here nearly caused a panic in the square. What? Snotter nearly spat out her cocoa. What did you do? I was trying to explain our situation to the Elder Goat, and I guess I wasn't as quiet as I should have been. I'm sorry. Snotter sighed. It's all right, not like I blame you. I was actually looking for Terra myself. You were? You're not the only one who's seen the signs. The Wendigos have gotten braver as of late. They still won't dare come into the grove, but I've seen them swarming around the outside at night when no one else is out. I'm starting to think they have something to do with Sour Apple's disappearance, too. You know about Sour Apple? Buckthorn nearly yelled. Snotter had to resist rolling her eyes. How could anyone not know at this point? Poor Sweet Apple's been running around in a tizzy ever since it happened. Everyone in town's been looking for him, but so far we've found nothing. If those Wendigos got into the grove... She trailed off. She took a deep breath and finished. That's why I want to find Terra. If there is a Wendigo here, I want to banish it myself. I want to prove to Skilla that I can do this on my own. I've come so far. I just need to prove I'm ready. Jack Thunder remembered how he felt when he was training under San. He was so desperate to banish a Wendigo on his own. San didn't think he could do it. He was so mad at him he snatched Stormbringer right out of the Tengu's hand. So he could understand Snotter's point of view all too well. He put his hand on her shoulder. Don't worry. We'll all find it together. Isn't that right? The other two couldn't agree more. The next few days were a blur of celebration. Shadow-Paws nearly forgot that he was on a mission. True, neither he nor the others had seen head nor tail of Sour Apple, but in the midst of a barrage of Solstice decorating, dancing, and feasting, it was easy to forget that anything was off at all. Whatever threat was out there, the Heartwood was keeping it firmly under wraps. With all the excitement going on, they shouldn't have been the least bit surprised to find a familiar caravan of wooden trailers parked just on the outskirts of the grove. Within minutes, a flurry of Harlequin gremlins joined the wood sprites and the dryads in the festivities. Shadow-Paws wasn't surprised. As dark elementals, Harlequin gremlin magic, like Nekomata magic, was the most powerful on the longest night of the year. That was why the Circus of Shadows came to visit in the fall and the winter. And right now, it seemed as though Strombolio and his crew decided to make a pit stop right at Yggdrasil's grove. Despite everything, though, they hadn't seen Strombolio either. Shadow-Paws had passed by their trailers many times as he was making his rounds. Nothing. He swallowed hard, remembering how choked up Strombolio was when he granted his blessing for the Nekomata to join the crew. He knew his boss was in a bad place. Did he decide to take a break from performing? A dark thought struck his mind. Or did he... The Nekomata shook his head. No, that wasn't possible. If Strombolio had done something like that, the Circus of Shadows wouldn't be here. Strombolio must be taking a break from performing. Yes, that's it. He took a break to get himself straightened out. It was just stress. Once he was rested up, he would feel better. Maybe you would stop drinking so much cider. Son's little talk must have really gotten to him, Shadow-Paws thought to himself. He made his way back into town. It was close to evening. Most had gone home, tucked safe into their warm tree houses. A light snow had begun to fall. Only the faint whisper of wind around the trees and the crackling of magical fireplaces within could be heard. Staring at the lights atop the tree branches, Shadow-Paws couldn't help but think of something he'd heard about winter solstice traditions back on Earth. One of the other Nekomata that worked at the Circus of Shadows, Sabrina Gray, had once claimed that she had seen the other side of the Earth portals before they closed. She told stories of a reindeer with a glowing red nose and a story about 3 ghosts coming to haunt a human who had given up on the winter solstice. Sabrina also lied a lot. It all sounded pretty unbelievable to Shadow-Paws. A sudden rustling noise drew his attention to some bushes hiding in the gloom between the trees. At first, the Nekomata thought that it was a squirrel or something, but looking closer, he thought he saw a very familiar face. A familiar face with an even more familiar pair of copper-red eyes. His heart leapt into his throat. Is he really? As Shadow-Paws inched closer, the face became clearer. It was the face of a Harlequin gremlin for sure. But this Harlequin gremlin looked much older than the others. His jumpsuit was black and purple, the same as the tents of the Circus of Shadows. But what tipped the Nekomata off was the notch in the Harlequin gremlin's right antenna. There was no mistaking who this was. Strombolio? You've been here all this time?